everybody, it's your friend Moonhorse. I don't really know why I said it like that, but, you know, I did it. Anyway, it's time for more stories. Stories from a wonderful friend. From my friend River, actually. I recognize the name immediately. So, this is The Drummer and the Bass, Act as One. They're like conjoining like fucking Voltron. Anyway, I don't know why that tickled me, but here we go. Moon, you delightful unicorn, and Moon's dearest friends. I'm so happy that you liked my last story, and I'm very happy when I can make you laugh. That was a fucking amazing story. That guy was like a fucking anime villain. I can't wait to find out what happens on this episode of Moonhorse Stories. A special thank you to Sango, who spoke as me over Moon's livestream. So much love to each of you. That's right, on pretty much all of my live streams, Sango is there, so if you ever just like want to come talk to both of us, we're usually like playing video games or doing stupid shit. Self-promotion in the middle of the video. Anyway, the story is about how the drummer and the bass, I kid you not, teamed up. I'm not sure of the extent of what they had in common, but clearly it was enough to at least form an alliance. Rehearsals for Beauty and the Beast were in full swing, and I was happy in my role with my classmates. My choir director connected me with a great choreographer that he had worked with previously, and she was helping us to block scene and choreograph our individual numbers, and she was excellent. Upon our first introduction to her, she was helping us out with the Be Our Guest scene. We sang through it, and she had a lot to say about our level of energy. In the middle of the number, and you might hear it if you ever see the Broadway show, you'll find that there is an instrumental break that isn't shown in the movie. In the break, I was to dance a tango with the person playing Lumiere. I don't know if this is worth knowing, but it's funny. In our staging of the show, we had Lumiere spitting out feathers into the stage in between delivering his spoken lines before Be Our Guest. Keep in mind, I'm playing a feather duster. I get it. The choreographer, of course, asked which of us was Babette. I raised my hand, and she said, "Oh, perfect, beautiful." And I could not stop smiling. It was adorable. Then, buzzkill. I heard a whoop from outside the door, and it was Drummer. The director shut the door and walked away. I wanted to say, seriously, there's a window in the door. He's not going to take the hint. But fine, I need to get through this. Lumiere is almost half a foot shorter than me, and he had to lead. I danced, and the choreographer spoke to me a little after the act. She asked me if I had danced before. I danced ballet up until I started having issues with my feet and needed to stop. I didn't want to. I told her, and she said that I could go back to dancing if I wanted to, and that would fit me. Drummer was right outside the room as I was having this conversation, and I was a bit emotionally charged. He had the nerve to come up and ask in front of the choreographer if he could help me practice my tango. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Breathe, breathe. No, thank you. Then to the choreographer, thank you for your help today. I guess Bass caught wind of this, that Drummer was only trying to help me. Again, I don't know the exact extent of what these two had in common, but this was one thing. In the same conversation, the one where Sango herself read, you actually got a taste of it. Bass was trying to save me by trying to convert me. Now, I'm Jewish. I put the ish in Jewish. I told Bass that I was an atheist in an attempt to get him off my back. Another tactic I used was to mess with him, something I would never do today. In fact, it's very out of character. I'll start where I said, would you mind leaving that be for a second? So far, you have tried to convert me, which brings me to question whether or not you actually are a Jehovah's Witness. And he said, I despise Jehovah's Witnesses. They are false prophets. And now I decide to mess with him. And I say, no, I mean, I'm a devil's mistress, and you sound like a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses I've met. Are you a succubus? That's what a devil's mistress implies. As a member of the church, I have the duty of banishing demons. Of course you do. That's why I said, okay. obviously enraged. I could imagine him sputtering, "Funny? Is this funny? Seriously?" "Yeah." So he says, "Really? Who is your maker?" Time to be literal. My parents. I knew this guy was like a fucking anime villain. Now I'm looking back at this, and I really don't like that I went about it that way. I have nothing against people who are religious. It's when you use religion to justify horrible actions that problems arise. This is true. I know this. I knew this. I have always felt this way. He really was one of those people that used religion to justify horrible actions done by himself and others. Bass wanted to get back at me, and I guess Drummer wanted the same. Sound like classy fucking guys, don't they? Costumes and the set pieces for Beauty and the Beast took up a great deal of the budget. We went over budget, but we made it back in ticket sales. Our director needed help unloading the truck, so he asked all of the choirs, the cast, and everyone else involved. I volunteered. My best friend was working after school. Drummer and bass also volunteered. My girlfriend arranged to volunteer because I told her this was happening, and a lot of awesome band kids volunteered. When the band kids volunteered, many of the choir kids turned up their noses, but I didn't. So come the night of the unloading, I'm laughing and joking with my friend from the band while drummer and bass went off by themselves. The truck was an hour late. My girlfriend's leaning against me. I put an arm around her every now and then, but was careful. We weren't out to everyone we knew. We were shocked out of conversation by a very loud moan. All of us turned around, and drummer's hand was down his pants, looking straighter than the most heterosexual thing you can think of, at me and my girlfriend. There's a lot of, ugh, and oh god, and what the fuck, dude? There were also screams, mine included. Totally understandable. My girlfriend buried her face in my chest and held onto me tightly. For those of you who don't know, when I was much younger, I had a visit from my fairy godmother and got hit in the head with the anti-dick stick. Ooh, lovely. Apparently drummer and bass agreed that drummer would do this in front of me as a ploy to freak me out worse than I freaked out bass. What they didn't count on was the scream would echo and the choir director would rush into the room where we were. This was the first time I saw my director angry, and it was scary. It was more terrifying to drummer, I'm sure. He automatically started peeing and would not stop. Oh! Like, seriously, what is this man's bladder? He peed so much. Why here? Why now? Why did he think that would work? What did he expect? May I say that he and bass were in cahoots? They were in cahoots. Out of the group of volunteers that ran out of the room, my girlfriend and I were the last. Bass was waiting for us, apparently, with a giant wooden cross, chanting something or other, making weird gestures, throwing the cross in my face. Oh my god. My girlfriend tried to get him to stop, but he wouldn't listen to her. It just got to the point where he made me stumble and land on my chair area. I was holding my breath and then hyperventilating. Just didn't expect this to happen. What in the fresh hell was this? Then after a while, we heard loud crying. That was enough for bass to stop and turn around, horrified. Drummer was being led out of there by the choir director. There was urine everywhere, and there was so much dripping that I couldn't tell if he was still going or not. The choir director had a defeated, "you've got to be fucking kidding me" face, as he said, "You two, come on. River, Cece, go to the band room." Any panic that I had felt in that moment was nothing, because I could see my poor baby was panicking for my sake. I did my best to comfort her on the way to the band room, and our friends were a big help. To make a long story just a little shorter, drummer got suspended, and bass got a slap on the wrist. Eventually, we were able to get to the truck and get the stuff unloaded. We could not stop talking about what happened. Our director didn't even stop us from talking about it. I think he knew we needed to. I wish there were parents there so this would have ended sooner, but it is what it is. Anyway, once again, this has gotten too long, and I haven't even gotten to the opening night yet. Thank you for bearing with me, Moon. Well, I fucking am very happy. This is a crazy story. To those hearing this, make sure you've eaten today and remember to have courage. Be kind and be very good to yourselves. You are important, and I love you all very, very much. Oh, River, you're one of the nicest people I know. I think I gotta say my favorite part of this is not just the fact that not just the fact that one of them got so fucking frightened that he just pissed himself. Yeah, drummer got so scared he pissed himself, and then bass apparently decided that he was in fact the last exorcist, here to save the world with the power of Jesus. And it's like, what the actual fuck? So, wow, I don't, oh, I guess this is one of those things you learn when you're several million years old from a far-off planet. Oh my god. That was fucking incredible. And this is all before opening night. I really cannot wait for the next part. Oh. I kind of half expect you have to fight them off with lightsabers at some point. Or whatever it is you use to destroy divine beings from the cosmos who can exorcise demons. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Okay. That was a fucking great story. Thank you so much for sending it in. These stories always make me laugh a lot, and I really fucking love it. So, thank you all for being here, and if you have your own story that you'd like to send me, you can do that by going to r/Moonhorse Stories and sending it there. And if you'd like to support this channel, you can do that by going to Patreon or buying something from the merch store. And, big announcement, oh my god, until July 31st of 2019, there is a contest going on right now. There's actually a design contest for, well, really the merch store. You can design something that will be put on Moonhorse shirts and all this other stuff. This is a non-profit contest, though, so this is just for exposure, as much as I really hate saying the phrase for exposure. I'm sorry. I really am. But, you know, we're still new at this whole thing, and you gotta start somewhere. But we thought you guys might want to be involved and do some design stuff and just be cool. I don't know, I thought it was a fun idea. So if you would like to design something, you can. It has to be Moonhorse related, and it will, well, the winner will wind up on a bunch of different things. The full rules are on the Discord server, but you can submit your pictures to r/Moonhorse Stories, or there is a special channel just on the Discord server for those submissions. I look forward to seeing what you guys make. I love you all, and I will see you in the next video.
Okay, have a good day now. Goodbye.